I guess even though we were free, we were still slaves in the mind.
Message!
What's going on, family? Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Know Yourself Academy. It's your guy, Boro the Lucky Libra here. And as you can see by the title, we're going to be picking up and continuing this Rising Ascendant sign series with the Sagittarius Rising sign, all right? So without further ado, let's get right into it, all right? So first of all, what is a rising sign? All right, your rising sign is the sign that you have in the first house of your natal chart. And why this is so important, because the first house pertains to everything with your personal issues. If you relate to it on a personal level, a person, place, or thing, it falls into your first house. This is how people see you on first impression. This is your aura. This is your appearance that you give off. All right, how you appear to be. Now, based off your sun and moon, we're going to see, do your actions and reactions truly correlate with the energy of your first house? However, it's also significant to know your rising sign, because through knowing what sign is in your first house, we know your house system, and we also know what your personal life path is going to be here with the angles that your first house makes with the 4th, 7th, and 10th, which the 4th house is a square, the 7th house is an opposition, and the 10th house is a square. And we know squares and oppositions represent learning processes in your life, all right? So if you got a lot of squares in your chart, you got a lot to learn here, all right? If you don't got a lot of the squares in your chart, you feel me, or a lot of oppositions, then don't end up, that means you must have some sextiles and trines in there, so you don't want to play out energies of being stagnant with your gifts and opportunities, or having people to tell you to act on your goals or act on your talents or whatnot, all right? So Sagittarius rising. So first off, we want to see where Jupiter is at in your natal chart, all right? Because whatever house Jupiter is in, this is where the most of your personal issues is going to be active and where your personality is going to shine the brightest, all right? So you want to see what house you have Jupiter in, and Jupiter is your chart ruler, all right? What energy is Jupiter dealing with? Experiences, learning from your experiences to bring spiritual expansion. Jupiter expands, period. It's a big gassy planet, all right? So whatever area in your life, whatever house you have it in, it's gonna expand in some shape or form in that house, all right? All right, dealing with the teacher, learning teacher energy, enlightenment, philosophy, all right, traveling, all right, learning through your, gaining new experiences through travel, whether it's internally or externally, all right? So when you have Sagittarius in your first house, you personally attach meanings and reasonings to the things you do, all right? And this is the masculine side of Jupiter, so it's pushing out, all right, this energy more so than honing in on it like Pisces. So when you're pushing out this energy, you can become real preachy, all right? People can look at you like, oh, I know this person's gonna act like they already know the answer for what I'm about to tell them before I tell it to them, but whatever, they gotta know. Like, you don't want to be that Sagittarius rising, all right? You feel me? Now you guys are very enlightening about things, all right? As Sagittarius risings, you guys go through certain experiences where you have the right wisdom for situations, but you miss out on how to practically relate it to somebody by not understanding what somebody else may be going through. So like, for example, if somebody is in dire need or something and about to do something crazy to get it, as a Sagittarius rising, you would look at them as being like you're overdoing it, you don't got to do all that just for that, you feel me? But to that person, they really need that thing, and you may not be able to see that part, but to you just look at things with a broader perspective through a bigger lens, Sagittarius, all right? Enlightenment. So it's like you look at it as like, all right, but like, you know, do you really feel like morally deep down you really need to do all that just to get that? You really need to rob a store, you really need to like stick this person up or scam this and that just to do that? Like, is that money really that serious or something? Like, this is the type of energy Sagittarius rising to play out. And once they understand why you were in dire need, then that's when they'll feel more justified to help you or give you some piece of wisdom and knowledge to help you with something. But they attach to meanings and reasonings to all of their personal issues, all right? They can be very spontaneous people as well. Not Sagittarius risings be like, it's fire. So I was gonna say Sagittarius rising energy kind of reminds me of like Leo energy in a way, and it's like they don't care about being center stage as Leos, but they can be as spontaneous, not spontaneous, but Like Leos are into entertainment, the sun, where the light at. So it's like they can be into what the new popping trendy things are, what's the new things going on, you feel me, in all different shapes and forms in different industries and whatnot. These are things that catch Leo attention, but it makes them also just want to be out there, entertain and be sociable. So you have Leos that want to go out every weekend or whatnot, go out all the time, and Sagittarius can be spontaneous and just want to roll with whatever to create a new experience, because they feel like new experiences bring them, bring them purpose in life, bring them enlightenment about life, bring them new things to think about and feel about life. All right, so it's mutable fire, so it's spreading the wisdom and spreading the expression or whatnot. So when you have Sagittarius in the first house, regardless of what your sun and moon is, whether you look like you're super outgoing or not, I mean, you're gonna appear to be social with a Sagittarius rising. But like I said, the reason remind me of like that Leo energy, because like you guys, y'all will be ready to just roll with a new experience, with a new adventure. All right, y'all seek adventure. All right, so even dating these people, you gotta be adventurous. You gotta want to step out the house. You gotta want to plan trips. They don't like just being super stagnant. All right, now in the fourth house we have Pisces. So in the fourth house, Sagittarius risings be having households that are full of nurture, full of love. All right, not saying it's perfect, but for the most part, the households be having love there. Venus is exalted in the in Pisces, and it's water. Pisces is also water. Fourth house is a water house. So as a Sagittarius rising, you have fire in the first house, where fire the first house is a fire house. You have water in the fourth house with Pisces, which the fourth house is a water house. You have seventh house in Gemini, which seventh house is the air house. You have 10th house in Virgo, which the 10th house is the earth house. So all rising ascendants have, for the most part, elements matching the zodiac signs within the houses. So in the fourth house, there's nurture there. There's opportunities, and there's been emotional connection in the household, at least trying to be established by the parents or whatnot. There's been support in the household or whatnot in shapes and forms. But as a Sagittarius, the Sagittarius fire, the difference between the Sagittarius fire is like, this fire is hard to be fire. You can't contain fire, period. So it's like, the more you try to, this fire, Sagittarius fire, it wants to spread out. It wants to spread its wings. It wants to spread its heat. It wants to share and spread experiences. It wants to share its wisdom, what it knows. It want to learn more. All right, it want to move to learn more. So in the fourth house, it's funny how this nurturing that you get makes you want to go out and get more experiences outside the household. So you have a lot of Sagittarius risings that I don't want to use the word are unappreciative of love in the household. It's not saying that you're unappreciative, but at the same time, you feel smothered by it sometimes. Sometimes you feel like, you just need to get out your household and live a little more outside your household. So you guys can get like spoiled by the love in your household as Sagittarius rising. So you need to learn that balance right there. And with that square, Pisces and Sagittarius share Jupiter. So you need to learn how to learn from outside and inside the home and bring that balance as a Sagittarius rising. So in the seventh house, you have Gemini, all right? And this is mutable air, okay? So in the seventh house, when you relate to people, places, and things on one-on-one level, like when you date somebody, like you have to date somebody that you could be friends with first, somebody that you could keep it light and bounce information with off first, and y'all could establish that. Because, as a Sagittarius rising, because you live your life like subconsciously trying to create new experiences and be adventurous and dive into new things personally a lot, you can create a lot of surface level light situations in your life, a bunch of light relationships, a bunch of light scenarios, a bunch of situations, working here, doing this, doing that, where you're not rooted in anything for real. So you have a lot of light things, relationships or whatever lingering. So when it comes to the seventh house, you have to really learn and establish to be with somebody that you can be around, somebody that you can truly resonate with, somebody you can just talk and be mutable and adaptable with logically and communication wise. And it's not just somebody that just give you a thrill to do something or a thrill to be adventurous, or somebody that entices you to do things that align with your adventurous, spontaneous energy. Because with Jupiter, you always want to expand. All right, so if you have somebody that just entices you, but is really no true connection there as far as being mutable and adaptable to the way you guys think and the way you see things, it ain't gonna really work out. So you got to be aware of that you don't allow that. And then you also gonna manifest people that, you know, try to like psych you up too, try to you know, take advantage of you in senses where they know that you're just gonna be down to do certain things, and you can't be so spontaneous and open-hearted that, you know, however good this sounds, that, you know, a person can manipulate you in that way and just get you to be in situations that, you know, experiences that you truly don't want to experience. All right, but since you're enticed by the feeling of it, then, you know, it can lead you down the wrong path in certain situations relating to people on a one-to-one level. So you gotta take mind of that. All right, be aware of that, you Sagittarius risings out there. And then in the 10th house we have Virgo. All right, we have Virgo in the 10th house. Now we know the 10th house deals with how you rise to the status of something, your social status, all right, but how we see what you've created as a foundation to provide stability for yourself from your personal travels and what you accumulated and whatnot in your life, all right? How do we see you? How do you know, and how do you rise to a status of something in your life? And when we say rise to a status, this is a person, place, or thing, a relationship, a career, a goal. Is not just like a career period. Even though it's emphasis on your career and work here because of the 10th house is an earth house, but it's rising to the status of anything. So when you have Virgo here, this is mutable earth, learning how other people's work on things and do things. So here you have to learn to get mobile and stable with all the things that you've learned and experienced, that you've accumulated, and the wisdom that you accumulated from relating to people in your life, through the relationship between your household and outside of your household, the experiences that you accumulated from that. And you got to be able to make something stable and practical out of that. You feel me? Something that could you can build stability of that. Something that your experiences and what you learned, you could take that and formulate something for yourself out of that. As a Sagittarius rising, you can live a lifestyle that personally, that your fire is always spreading here and there, feeling like you could be jack of all trades and all that. And in this lifetime, you're gonna have to learn to get stable in something, stable in a relationship to see that rise to a status, stable in a career or a goal or a dream to get stable to a status. Or to rise to a status. You feel me? This is what you guys gotta understand. So, you know, you may have points in your life where you feel like, damn, I'm scattered, even though like that Sagittarius energy is subconsciously you've spread your fire a lot. But when you really be feeling like, wow, I feel a little lost or whatever, it's most likely because you have your hand in too many pots, and you have to see where you want to put your observation and focus and see the details of, and see this thing move from point A to B, instead of just dibbling and dabbling here, there, and there, here, there, relationship wise, career wise, goal wise, or any of that. All right, so that's the square process you're gonna have to learn from the first house with your personality, and the 10th house with how you're building foundation and stability in your life and rising to a status or something. And for the most part, that is the Sagittarius rising, y'all. All right, these people are real wise people, man. You know, they there to pick you up with their wisdom. They're there to pick you up with what you know. They extend their help when they feel like there's a true meaning and reasoning, and you've been doing the most for yourself. Then they want to come and help you. All right, but real dope people. All right, and yes, it don't matter how what their sun and moon is. You feel me? In some type of, not saying it don't matter, but like, you know, depending on if they appear to be spontaneous or not, they with the shits. They with the shits, even if they seem like they're not outgoing. Like if there's something that pop up and the homies is with it or whatever, they're like, all right, bet we out. You feel me? So let's get into some Sagittarius rising celebrities. All right, so we got Brad Pitt, Kim Kardashian, Elvis Presley, Eminem, Leonardo da Vinci. We got Oprah, Bruce Lee, Jimi Hendrix, Bob Marley. All right, remember that Bob Marley clip when he was like, how much is, they was like, are you rich? He was like, how much is rich? What's rich? Like, it's a meaning and reason in things. It don't get so caught up in the mundane level of things. It's a broader perspective of things. Sylvester Stallone, Nelson Mandela, Alicia Keys, Warren Buffett. All right, so those are just a couple of Sagittarius rising celebrities for y'all. But y'all already know what it is. It's just got borrowed, like the Libra, tuning in and tuning out. Y'all already know, like, share, subscribe, and all that good stuff. You feel me? And we're gonna be picking up the next one with the Capricorn rising sign, and that's my rising sign, y'all. All right, but for now, I'm tuning in and tuning out. Peace.